Hello, welcome to my chemistry channel. First, I like to mention that my chemistry videos are intended for high school students, specifically those in grade 10, 11, 12, and IGCSE O-level and A-level students. Also, I will be consistently creating more of these chemistry videos, so please subscribe to my channel to stay tuned. Today, we are going to study the absolute basis of chemistry, elements, and the periodic table. Well, these elements are systematically arranged. First of all, what we need to understand about chemistry is that if we break down matter into its simplest units, we find that all matter is composed of elements. Yes, elements are said to be the smallest and simplest unit of all substances, and they cannot be broken down by chemical means. Now, this leads to the question, how many different elements have been identified? The answer is, so far, a total of 118 elements have been discovered and recognized in the world of science. Of these 118 elements, 94 are found in nature, but the remaining 24 have been synthesized by humans in laboratory. Okay, as you can see here on the screen, this is the periodic table with all 118 elements. Then, how would we define the periodic table? The periodic table is a tabular display of all the chemical elements organized by their properties. This incredible periodic table is invented by the Russian scientist called Dmitry Mendeleev in 1869. Okay, now let's take a look at the screen. As you can see there are a total of 18 vertical columns called groups and 7 horizontal rows called periods, while all the 118 elements are systematically arranged by their atomic number. Okay, let's check. We call this is group 1, this is group 2, and this is group 3, and this is group 17, and the last one we call this is group 18. And then for the period we call period 1, period 2, period 3, period 4, 5, 6, 7. Why do I say that elements are systematically arranged? Well, let's look at the screen. You will notice that each distinct group is marked with its own unique color. These colors are not just for decoration, they show that elements within the same group share similar chemical properties. For example, all the elements in group 1 on the far left, except hydrogen, are highly reactive metals. And on the far right, in the group 18, these elements are called noble gases, which are very stable and almost never react with other elements. Alright, let's move on and look at how elements are classified based on their chemical properties. Basically, elements are divided into two main categories, metals and non-metals. Take a look here. This zigzag line that looks like a set of stairs is called the staircase line. It serves as the boundary that separates metals from non-metals. The elements to the left of the staircase line are metals. These are metals. But the elements to the right of these staircase lines are called non-metals. Okay, now we have to note that physical properties of metals are being hard, shiny, and excellent conductors of heat and electricity. Some examples of metals are gold, silver, copper, iron, aluminum, and titanium, and so on. Okay, on the other hand, elements that do not have these properties are called nonmetals. Another thing we should know is that some elements possess properties of both metals and nonmetals. These are called metalloids. On the periodic table, I have highlighted metalloids in green along the staircase line. Based on this data, out of these 118 elements, there are 91 metals, 20 non-metals, and 7 metalloids. Okay, now this brings up an interesting question. Do high school students need to know all these 118 elements by heart? The answer is not yet. For high school level, knowing the first 36 most common elements is more than enough. These are the elements from atomic number 1 to 36, located within the period 1 to 4. So, for now, I'm going to remove the elements from period 5, 6, and 7 as they are not essential for our current focus. Now I remove it. Elements about two-thirds of the table have been removed. Now let's focus on these 36 elements together. So, before we dive deeper into the periodic table, let's get familiar with the names of these 36 elements. What you see here are the elements with atomic numbers 1 to 36. The atomic numbers and their symbols are already shown in the table. Now, let's learn their English names together and also find out their Latin names if they have any. Okay, now let's start from atomic number 1. Atomic number 1, whose symbol is H, its English name is hydrogen. There is no Latin name for hydrogen. Okay, atomic number 2, symbol is He, English name is helium. 3. Li, lithium. 4. Be, beryllium. 5. B, boron. 6. C, carbon. 7. N, nitrogen. 8. O, oxygen. 9. F, fluorine. 10. Ne, neon. 11. Ne, sodium. It has Latin name, whose Latin name is nitrium. So the symbol Ne derived from the first two letters of its Latin name natrium, Na. 12 Mg magnesium, 13 Al aluminum, 14 Si silicon, 15 P phosphorus, 16 S sulfur, 17 Cl chlorine, 18 Er argon, 19 K potassium. Its Latin name is helium. 20 Ca calcium, 21 Sc scandium, 22 Ti titanium, 23 V vanadium, 24 Cr chromium, 25 Nn manganese, 26 Fe iron. Its Latin name is ferrum. So the symbol Fe comes from ferrum. The first two letters Fe is its symbol. 27 Co cobalt, 28 Ni nickel, 29 Cu copper. Its Latin name is cuprum. 30 Zn zinc, 31 Ga gallium, 32 Ge germanium, 33 As arsenic, 34 Se selenium, 35 Br bromine, and the last one, atomic number 36, its symbol is Kr, its English name is krypton. Okay, now we finish introduces the name of the first 36 elements. Let's go back to periodic table again. Back to the periodic table, and now we are going to learn some key terms concerning about elements and periodic table. The first key term is elements, and this is its definition. Elements, a pure substance consisting of only one type of atom that cannot be broken down into simpler substances by chemical means. Number 2, periodic table, a tabular display of all known chemical elements, organized by their atomic number. staircase line, the zigzag line on the periodic table that separates metals on the left from non-metals on the right. Metals, elements that are located on the left side of the staircase line. Typically, they are hard, shiny, and good conductors of heat and electricity. Non-metals, elements that are located on the right side of the staircase line, lack metallic properties. They are generally poor conductors and can be gases, liquids, or brittle solids. Metalloids, elements located along the staircase line that have properties of both metals and non-metals. They are metalloids. Okay, before going to the next key terms, let's consider about this together. We all know that there are 91 different metals, but even though they all are called metals, they are not all the same. Some metals are very reactive, but others are not so reactive and they are even quite stable. If you look at the top of the table, you will see that there are three major groups of metals. They are alkali metals, alkaline earth metals, and transition metals, and they are divided by different colors. These three major groups of metals occupy different positions in the periodic table, and their reactivity varies accordingly. Now, let's take a look at the definition of each group. First, alkali metals. As you can see, the metals, the elements in the group 1 except hydrogen are known as alkali metals. They are very, very reactive. And the metals in the group 2 are known as alkaline earth metals. They are shiny, somewhat reactive metals, but they are not as reactive as alkali metals, but they are more reactive than the rest of the metals. And next is the transition elements or transition metals. The large block of metallic elements found in the center of the periodic table, they are from group 3 to group 12. These are transition metals, including iron, platinum, silver, gold, copper, and they are not so reactive and they are quite stable. Similarly, nonmetals also have different reactivities. The nonmetals in purples are mentioned reactive nonmetals. Yes, they are reactive, but nonmetals in group 17 are the most reactive among them. They are called halogens. They are highly reactive nonmetals. And for the elements in group 18, they are known as noble gases or also called inert gases. They are inert, which means they are stable. These gases are odorless, colorless, and very unreactive gases. They are almost not react with other elements in nature. That's all for today. But before we say goodbye, let's quickly review the main points we have learned. In the periodic table, there are 18 vertical columns called groups and 7 horizontal rows called periods and a total of 118 elements. But for high school level, we just need to know elements from atomic number 1 to 36. This is enough. Among them, elements on the left side of the staircase line are called metals. Right side of the staircase line are called non-metals. Group 1 elements are called alkali metals, including lithium, sodium, and potassium, LiNek. Elements in group 2 are called alkaline earth metals, including beryllium, magnesium, and calcium, BeMgCa. Elements in group 17 are called halogens, including fluorine, chlorine, and bromine, F0Br. Elements in group 18 are called noble gases or inert gases, including helium, neon, argon, and krypton. Elements from group 3 to 12. Group 3 to group 12 are called transition metals, including scandium, titanium, vanadium to zinc. And the last one, elements along the staircase line are called metalloids, including boron, silicon, germanium, and arsenic. Okay, bye bye for now. I hope this video will give you benefits and thanks for watching.